Hi there, Lance Boudreau here from Avalanche Creative, and I am here to introduce you to our hierarchy of needs. So, this is a new asset that our team is using really just to help our clients understand what it is they need to prioritize the work that we can help them with um, in getting good results in building a brand and generating leads from their website. So, starting at the very bottom, you need to have a website in order to actually get people to it and generate leads. So we offer WordPress web design services there, but you're not going to be visible in search engine results pages without a website. So next, moving up, you can't improve what you don't measure. So you really need to use tools like Google Analytics, Google Search Console. We like to use the Looker Studio. Um, to make sure that we're measuring the outcomes that we're trying to achieve through our website. You don't really even want to start doing a lot of work until you know that it can be measured appropriately. Next up is that website needs to be able to be indexed and actually show up in Google's search results. It's relatively easy to do, but you can also mess things up. And especially if you have a very large site or if you're migrating a site, there's certainly a lot more time and a lot more detail that can go into an SEO audit and a technical SEO um, audit to make sure that your website can get crawled and is indexed properly for a good user experience. So beyond that, moving back up, you got to have great content. So you have to have pages, experiences, information written and visual that matches the need of the searcher, ideally better than anyone has to offer for any particular query. So this takes a lot of work, and you're really never over with this, but for certain companies, you really just need to establish a really strong foundation and then start working your way up. So next is a great user experience. So you can have great content and it can be arguably better than what anyone has, but if you don't have a really good experience on the site, it isn't easy to navigate. That content isn't visually pleasing, isn't um, if it's not easy to just kind of jump around, the internet was made for skimming, then it's not going to perform well. So these two areas are certainly ones that could take months, could take years of really hard focused work to get these right and kind of position you to be the best in your space. But once you've started nailing down all of these things, one of the last couple are share worthy content. So this is content that is really interesting that can get you some PR, can get people linking to your website and saying, these guys are awesome. Look at these statistics that they put together, or look at this information that they put out about their industry. Wow, they are thought leaders. Things that are just naturally going to pull some attention in the media. Now, these are usually a little bit more complicated, a little bit more time intensive, and really can take a lot of effort to get right. But when you get to that point, it can really push you above and beyond your competition. And not everyone needs it the same way. But again, that's why it's towards the top. You don't really have to worry too much about that until you've really exhausted all these other elements here. And then the last one, and this is never over, and I know it's really small right there at the top, but that does not mean that there's not a lot of time and care that goes into it. It's just optimizing your assets over time. So continually saying, is this good? Can we make it better? How has our buyer changed? How has our business changed? And how does that impact all of the work that goes into our website, that goes into generating leads? And so sometimes you're going to come back down uh, into these areas for a little bit more focus. And some of these areas are never really going to leave, but you are naturally going to spend a lot more time in certain areas. But this is the type of thing that like we love to assess. Like what do you need, and we can kind of help you understand. Like, hey, you really need to focus 80% of your effort here, or here, or here for X amount of time, and that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. That's going to help you generate the most leads. So if you have any questions about how this hierarchy works, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk about this stuff.